Hello, people of YouTube. My name is Steve Gray, and thank you for watching. If you are new here, please hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, leave a like, and feel free to comment down below what you would like me to do for future videos. So we are on episode 21 of season 1 of Dr. Stone. Hopes for a second season pretty high. Can almost guarantee you we are definitely going to get a second season based on the popularity of the show. So this episode was kind of interesting, kind of fillery, and also kind of holiday spirity all at the same time. So obviously we are working towards getting cell phones for communication, so we can get the Empire of Might versus the Kingdom of Science. I don't know if it's going to happen this season. It might just be a few episodes. We do have 4 episodes left, so it is a good possibility that it might end just with Tsukasa and his empire getting defeated, or it might end on a cliffhanger where they're basically just about to battle, but don't actually battle. As I've said in previous reviews, it is definitely more about constructing things, more about the science behind it, than it is fighting in this particular anime. Yes, there is some fighting in it, but it's not 100% about that. It's more about your noggin, your brain, your thinker, and figuring out your opponent's plan, figuring out what you can do next to make the world a better place. So in the process, Senku figures out how to make light bulbs and vacuum tubes using mercury and glass. And basically, the nice holiday scene is he lights up an entire tree. And during actual Christmas, it's snowing, it's beautiful, etc. Chrome, because now everybody's got light bulbs and batteries. That's right, we also got batteries in this episode. He uses, I believe it is sulfuric acid and lead within a glass bottle to store energy. Genro gets zapped, which I thought was hilarious, and Genro and Kenro are both very happy that they no longer have to generate electricity, and that we can store electricity and have power, which is pretty cool. So eventually, I'm assuming all of Ishigami Village is going to light up at some point in time. The problem is, for cell phones in this particular episode, the biggest issue that we're having is that we need vacuum tubes. So if you don't know what a vacuum tube is, because they are older technology, basically, they used to be called tube TVs. Before they were flat screens, they had the big dome on them, and they had a tube to help power them. They also did radios, used to have tubes in them. Guitar amps, even modern guitar amps, still have tubes in them. People go after the sound. But this day and age, the vacuum tube is pretty dead. It's not really being used for anything other than really high gain guitar amps and guitar amps in general at this point in time. But the problem is he cannot find a filament that is strong enough to withstand the pressure and the heat from the electricity going into the vacuum tube, which causes issues, obviously. It is a very interesting process, and you need a specific filament in order to do this. He can't think of anything in Japan that would be able to produce this filament, so the entire villagers, all of them are basically trying to help out and find materials for Senku in order to create this vacuum tube, so that way he can create the cell phone. I thought it was partially hilarious, because after Chrome got the light bulb, he was like, "Oh, I'm going to go find some rocks for you, because we need this for this." And then Senku was like, "No, we got everything we need right here for this." And he's just like, "Oh, no, I can't test out my new gear. No, why?" I thought that was pretty great. It was a pretty great moment. We get to see all the villagers prepping for winter. They learn how to can things, or bottle things, I think it is. Or basically they're preserving meat and fruits and vegetables for the winter season, which is great, because basically they could only pick so much fruit and so many different perishable things, but they didn't really have a way, minus possibly smoking things, to preserve them for the winter season. Moving on, we don't really get to see Yuzuria or Taiju. We haven't seen them like the entire season. I thought they were going to be big characters. I'm hoping we see them again before the end of the season strikes out, because communication is key. Hamaru, I'm guessing, is kind of watching all of this happening, eventually going to report it to Tsukasa. She knows he's making something, but not exactly sure exactly what he is making. Obviously, he has no way to get gunpowder at this point in time. So that's not going to happen. We're not going to see guns. Basically, it's going to be a sword fight with katanas, communication with whatever type of cell phone he is going to make somehow. And that is probably going to end up winning him the fight, because obviously communication is key. Even if Tsukasa and his men are stronger, they can pinpoint everybody and they can all group up on people individually as opposed to fighting them one-on-one, possibly losing. So basically what we learn is that there's a rock called tungsten. It's a type of gemstone that Suika actually ends up finding. On New Year's, they all go to watch the sunset, and because of ultraviolet rays, it makes the rock glow, which is actually going to end up being the filament that Senku needs for the vacuum tubes. As yet again, meanwhile, villagers are collecting food. They are making ramen. They're generating electricity. They no longer have to heat the kiln anymore because Senku devised a way where basically a bunch of air can get into the kiln now through the water wheel, which is really cool. A lot of stuff is happening with this cool water wheel. Going on to next episode, we are going to have Magma, we are going to have Senku, and we are going to have Chrome venturing deep into the tunnels in order to find more of this gemstone to get tungsten, in order to basically, obviously, create enough vacuum tubes for everybody to get them. So everybody's prepping for the village. Some people are training. There's a whole lot of stuff going on, but it's all kind of like one of those random montage moments where basically it just shows all the villagers doing these random things. People are making wine, etc. So moving on to next episode. Obviously, they are going to go into the tunnel. My guess, there's going to have to be some sort of action scene in it. Maybe it'll collapse or something. They'll have to figure out a way out. Otherwise, they're just going to go into the tunnel, find the tungsten, get the cell phones built, and then maybe we'll have 3 episodes of fighting, but who knows? It's probably going to be an episode of planning. We'll just have to wait and see what happens with that. Moving on to Season 2, I have no idea what they're going to do, because from what I'm seeing, it's either going to end on a cliffhanger for us, and then it's going to be Tsukasa battle at the beginning of Season 2, but I don't know where they're going to go after that. There's no real indication. Maybe they're going to go try to attempt to figure out where the petrification came from, who's doing it, why they did it, etc. That's the only real place that I can assume that it's going to go after this. There's not really any place to go other than Senku de-petrifying people. That might be an entire arc where after Tsukasa gets defeated, Senku is just going to unpetrify as many people as he can, and then they're going to build civilization back up again. But we will just have to wait and see. Thank you for watching. My name is Steve Gray. Remember to hit that subscribe button, and as always, have a good one. Also, feel free to check out my guitar channel, Gray's Guitars, as well. Need more subscribers over there. It all helps. Thank you.